Oh wow, I just discovered a website to upgrade my ships on Star Citizen. Wait a second. How the hell do you use this thing? It's called Erkul? And there's so many functions. Please don't be overwhelmed. I'm here to show you guys how to walk through this website and how to upgrade those ships. And we're going to go through most of all of this. Bear in mind, those stats, those things, the parts, the weapons, all that is going to be ever changing as Star Citizen continues to evolve with those DPS mechanisms and others. But let's get right into this right now. Alright, so here we are. We're on the Erkul website now currently. I will link this website in the description of this video if you would like to just follow that. That is not a problem. Otherwise, you can also search on Google or any web browser, look for Erkul.games, and you should find something that looks like this with the icon, the DPS calculator live, and we'll do that. It'll pop up with this window here. I always honestly just close this. Here's all your components for your ship, so it could look a little overwhelming, but I'm here to help you with that right now. Here we can select our ship. We're on currently a ship that it defaults to that's not actually in game just yet. So let's go to select a ship. Here we can select our ship. Here's all of the different manufacturers. So in this case, I'm going to pick, let's go with a Drake, and let's go with a Cutlass Black right here. So you can see here now, as I've selected that ship, all the different components and things come, up onto the screen. Here you can see where our very puck is. That is for gimbal mounts for our guns. So we can remove that if we'd like. We could say leave empty. Then we can select a weapon if we'd rather not go gimbal, or we can select that gimbal with a very puck. Here we can go and we can select our weapons. We can get into all the details of laser repeaters and cannons and everything else, but that's not what this video is for. So let's just stick straight to it. Anything with lasers, anything with this symbol here is going to be infinite ammo, will recharge. It's an energy weapon. Anything here, we have ammos and alpha, fire rate, speed, range, power to EM, temp to IR, and HP. So in this case, let's just say we're going to choose an attrition, right? And then we have the very puck here for gimbals. And let's say we're going to do the same thing, attrition, right? Now from here, more very puck, more gimbals. Let's switch it up. I'm actually going to take it off. Okay, so now it's empty. We're going to select the attrition now this way, right? Same thing here. I'm going to leave empty, and I'm going to choose attrition once again. Now, when we get down to turrets, we can do the same thing, right? So let's do that, and let's pick an attrition. Now again, we can go into all the details of how we do that, but that's not what this video is for. Here we have our missiles. Now, the larger the missile, the less you can hold in those missile racks. We could always downsize. So for example, right now we have 2 arresters size 3s, okay? Now we can downsize that, and we can just go to size 1s. And if we do that, see how it says empty 8? Now we can hold 8 in that missile rack if we go to size 1. So let's do that. And let's go ahead, get into our missiles now. We have all these different variations. Infrared will track, electromagnetic will also track, does a different type of damage to the ship, and then we have cross-section that will focus on the cross-section of that ship. So in this case, I'm going to choose task force ones. Let's go electromagnetic, also known as EM missiles. Alright, so we have all the task force. Now you can see how many we hold. Now here we are with our shields. When we get to shields, you can see our HP, we can see our pool HP, and our regen. Now typically I will do the easy thing. I will do military grade A. Anything in the A will be the best in that category. We can go stealth. As you see, here's competition, military, industrial, and civilian. So in this case, let's change it up here. Let's do FR-76s, and then for the power plant, let's do a Genoa for the heck of it. Okay, this is an industrial grade A. Here's our power, and again, we have all these stats. So follow those stats, do what you feel is best. Some of the stuff is personal preference. And then once again with our coolers, let's also go, in this case, military, grade A, we'll do avalanche. All right, now we have paints, don't worry about that. Quantum drives, okay. Quantum drives gets a little tricky, right? Because sometimes the faster that quantum drive is, the less our distance or our range is for that. So depending on the size of our ship and the fuel capacity on that ship, where it gets a little technical, may also dictate obviously our range for that. So sometimes we want to cut down that time in quantum, so we're going to choose a higher max speed, but do be aware it's going to cut down our range. So we don't always want to go with the absolute fastest on our ships. When we get to size 2 and size 3, often we can choose just the fastest one. It's almost a no-brainer. But when we're in size 1 quantum drives, it gets a little different and a little hairy. So in this case, we're a size 2, so no problem. Here's our military A. You can see we're at 260, 701 for our max speed, right? And you can see where our distance is. And as we go down, you can see how these vary. So in this case, with the XL1 being 260, I'm looking here for other ones that might be faster, and I don't see that, right? So let's choose the XL1. All right, now when we get over here to paints, again, don't worry about that. Our thrusters, you cannot change. I'm clicking it and it doesn't do anything. All right, so from here, we're gonna go to non-stock items to cart for our Cutlass Black. Okay, and in this case, I already had items in the cart. I'm gonna empty the cart. I'm going to close this after I click that, right? So let's do it again. Non-stock items to cart. Now we have 66, and now we have everything here in our cart, along with the quantities and the prices for those, okay? Here is a drop down for the shop location. So what we can do is we can click that to choose a location that will give us basically a scenario where we don't have to travel to as many locations. We can consolidate those stops and hopefully make the upgrade process to our ship a little faster. So in this case, these are the missile racks. So I can choose Area 18, for example, right? Let's just do that. Now here, when we come to our missiles for those racks, right? Because we need missiles in the racks. For our task forces, you can see how we have all these locations, right? I am actually going to choose Crusader Showroom Orison, and let's just say maybe that's our home base. So now that I've done that, wait a second, I want to see if I can get my rack also in the showroom, and I can. So now I've minimized that stop. I'll come to my Genoa that I want to get. Okay, it's either Everest Harbor or New Babbage. I'll leave it on Everest. Come down to the Avalanche. We can go Dumpers Depot, Grim Hex, or Cousin Crows. Wait a second, that's on Orison. This already is on Orison for those missiles. So let's choose Cousin Crows. Okay, cool. Now again, do our shields. Once again, Dumpers Depot, Grim Hex, or Orison. Holy crap, I'm going to choose Orison. And you can see how these are still defaulting to different locations, right, on the ones we have not selected. Lorville, now it tells us for the attritions, that's the only location. Again, the XL1, Cousin Crows, Orison. It also looks like it's available at Port Tressler, but wait a second, I'm doing everything at Orison, so I might as well do that. And again, for our very puck, Port Olisar is actually no longer in the game. Farewell to Port Olisar. Dun, 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 dun. All right, anyway, so let's see what other locations we have. We have New Babbage, and we have Orison, and then coming back here, we also had a stop for Everest, right? So let's see, do we have another Everest? No, we don't, but we do have Orison and Cousin Crows, or Orison, Crusader Showroom. I'll do Cousin Crows in this case. So here now we have everything here. We can take a screenshot of this, or we can just leave it up on another screen if you have multiple screens, or in the background of your game, whatever, and we can just check this periodically, and then we know how many of these items to buy when we go to these specific shops. this is basically it. I hope I have helped everybody today, and I do stream on Twitch 6 days a week. I hope to see you guys there one of these days. That would be fantastic if you're not there already. And please like and please subscribe if you are not already. I mean, at least drop a comment. I greatly appreciate it. And any criticisms, great feedback, bad feedback, it's all appreciated, and it helps me greatly. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.